Welcome everyone to the ParenTIPS Lunchtime Webinar series. I'm Guan Zhen from Children's Society and the Advocacy Unit, and I'll be your host for today. So the topic we're exploring is Let's Get Real about supporting children's mental health. And we have three panelists today that we're very happy to have with us. Our first panelist is Dr. Angelina Ang, or Angie for short. So she's the Senior Consultant at KKH A&E Department. She's also the team lead at the Temasek Foundation Youth Connect program, which helps to have early recognition and intervention for adolescents struggling with mental health issues. She's also a mother to two young adults. So welcome.
Thank you.
Our second panelist is Mr. Zachary Cho, or Zach. So he volunteers as a family advisor at Children's Society's Flourishing Minds. So they provide mental health services for children and youth. He's also a father to two children. So welcome itself.
Thank you. Hi, everyone.
And lastly, we have Priscilla Chan. So Priscilla, she's a senior social worker and team lead at our Student Service Centre. She also facilitates, among many other things, mental health literacy programs for children and their families. She's a mother to two children, one in preschool and one in primary school. So welcome, everybody.
Welcome, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We also welcome those on screen. So we know that we have parents, you have grandparents, you have some educators, some social workers. So we thank you for joining us. And if you have any questions, please feel free to share in the Zoom Q&A section. And you can also upvote. We apologize in advance that we may not be able to answer all the questions, but we'll do our best to answer the top few questions at least. So before we start, we also just want to share that because the topic on mental health can be a sensitive one, so if you or someone you know might be struggling, we want to encourage you to seek help. After the session, we'll also be sharing a list of resources that you can seek help from. So let's start by understanding what is mental health? What is good mental health? Maybe Priscilla, can you share a bit more with us?
Yeah, and this is something actually we share with children and parents as well, that when we look at mental health, it's like physical health. It's a state of health that includes our emotional, psychological, social, and functioning well-being. That means our mental health actually affects the way we think, the way we feel, the way we act. And it helps determine how we can manage our stresses in life, relate to others, and make choices as well. So as we talk about mental health today, we are also reminding everyone that we all have mental health, okay, which is different from mental illness. And therefore, it's important for us to take good care of our mental health and learn about our mental health and our children's mental health together today.
But why do you all think, right, now that we hear what's mental health, good mental health, why is it important to pay attention to our children's mental well-being?
Okay, maybe I can go first. For us and for myself, when we pay attention to children's mental health and mental well-being, we are also paying attention to their internal experiences. A lot of times we see what is happening on the outside through their behaviour cues and all, but when we pay attention to children's mental health, we are looking into their internal experiences and internal needs, which actually is their thoughts and feelings. What are they thinking about? What are some feelings they are actually experiencing, which actually sometimes are often unexpressed, hard to express, or even missed, And furthermore, mental health contributes to our children's personal well-being as well, as important as our physical health, where we look at the holistic approach and development of our children as well. So that's for me why, looking at children's mental health is so important.
Yes, actually, it's the same in the healthcare, amongst the healthcare professionals, because mental health is actually part of holistic health. Yeah, and definitely we have a holistic approach, bio, psycho, and social. And we all know that there's no health without mental health. So even in the hospitals and in the clinics, when the doctors and healthcare professionals look after the young child, we talk about their holistic well-being. So if one goes out of whack, if the mental health or the social health goes out of whack, then the physical health will also suffer. Yep.
They're all interconnected.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah, I think for me as a parent, this is a very practical thing, right? We want our children to flourish, to thrive, be it academic sense, in arts, in sports, in any aspect of their life, right? Having a strong, good mental health will allow them to have the stamina to face challenges, to face setback and other obstacles in life. So I think it's a practical things for parents to take care of their children's mental health as well as their own mental health.
So it sounds like we want to pay attention because it's holistic and so important to pay attention to their internal, their thoughts and feelings, and to give them the stamina for the long run.
Yeah.
Then what about what happens if we see children youth who are struggling? Are there any signs that we can observe and be alert for, especially maybe observations that you see from the healthcare side or social service side? Yeah.
Yeah. So in the pediatric setting where I work at KK Women's and Children's Hospital, often we see children and young people who have emotional distress, but this is manifested in the form of physical symptoms. The younger they are, the more likely that they are still confused and they can't express their emotional distress. And a lot of times they are not even aware that their emotional distress is causing the physical symptoms. And the physical symptoms might be in the form of headaches, recurrent stomach aches, or chest pain, or difficulty breathing, or sometimes there's this lump in the throat kind of sensation. So these are the physical symptoms that are actually contributed by emotional distress. Yeah. And sometimes parents may not necessarily link the two, okay, even though there is this mind-body connection. The reason is because of this mind-body connection. But sometimes parents do not even are not able to link the two together, and they really think that their child is having something serious and a real serious medical condition. Like the stomach ache can be very severe, and then they rush the child to the emergency department, and then we will have to see the child accordingly. Yeah. So sometimes even for the doctors, it can be difficult to differentiate, and we need to examine the child thoroughly, make sure that there's no medical condition. Sometimes we need to do extensive tests, investigations even, like for example, if there's recurrent headaches, for example, we might need to do a scan. And oftentimes, the results are all normal. So that's reassuring, but it can also be quite puzzling because when there's mental health distress, right, emotional distress, there's no outward manifestation other than the physical symptoms. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tricky because it's maybe they're stressed because of school or peer issues.
Yes.
But then the parents see stomach ache.
Yes,
And you think
that's
that maybe you ate something wrong.
Yes. Yeah. Or for the younger child, some parents might wonder, how come every time my child goes up the school bus, there's stomach ache? Then Sunday, weekends, the child is okay. So this kind of scenario continues to play out on an everyday basis. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I can totally understand as parents, right? It is challenging to determine that is this like a sign of children trying to find their ways in not doing something, bringing some truancy, or is it a genuine issue, be it mental or physical health? So I think it can be quite challenging for us as parents also.
I think it can be even more challenging if the signs are not obvious. Yeah.
It's very similar to just now when we talk about how they are internalized symptoms. It is hard to express, hard to talk about, or sometimes the children themselves cannot even make sense of what is going on for them. And I think for myself in my work, right, another side of the children struggles that we're seeing is also in the area of masking. Yeah.
Share more about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna. When we see masking, right, we actually see children who tries to cover up their distress or symptom by coping, and copying the behaviors of people who don't have those symptoms, and they try to look actually very normal, interacting well in school, having a lot of friends, still doing very well in their academics, still achieving, great leadership positions, and they do try to do that also. And masking may be a way actually for the children to fit in socially and avoid being stigmatized and to feel socially more accepted as well. So you may hear them doing well, but actually when they're back at home, when they are unable to mask after a long day, they are so physically and mentally exhausted, emotionally exhausted already as well, because the whole day they have been so hyper alert, hypersensitive to what is happening to the whole day, trying to put up a front to tell people around them that actually I'm okay, you know, I don't want to be noticed. I just want to be accepted and feel belong among my friends as well. You know, sometimes we also hear children share that I've been sleeping enough hours. I sleep 8 hours, 10 hours, but because that rest was not enough to help them recover from the masking. The next day when they go back to school, they still feel extremely tired. They feel that, youth and children tell me I can't focus in class. Yeah, I see that my energy is still dipping. I need some energy drinks to help me focus. I'm still very, very tired. There are changes in my appetite. There are changes in interactions at home. I don't really want to come out for dinner. I don't really want to talk to anybody because I'm so tired from masking the whole day. Their mood changes is what we see as well. And then we have also heard, some of our children's experience that they are so tired, they have bedwetting problems at night because they cannot get up from bed to, go to the toilet in the middle of the night, and they struggle in their sleep as well. So these are some things that are happening to our children when they have to mask to be socially accepted and to avoid being stigmatized as well.
Yeah. So in a way, like outside when they're in school with their friends, they may put on a mask, they put on a front. Then at home they are tired and you may see changes in their behaviour. So that could be something that parents can look out for. Like what's happening? Is there something more that's going on?
Okay.
Yeah. Then just curious, let's say like in your own situations, if you have any, do you notice when your own child might be experiencing struggles? And how do you detect and respond to them for your own selves,
From what I recall, actually, there are very little clues, that a parent can actually look out for, especially if the child is masking or the child is emotionally not mature enough to even voice it out. Yeah. So I don't remember being able to really detect. And a lot of it is through incidentally noticing or through incidental conversations that I had with my child, like, during a meal time together or just before I tuck them into bed. Then that's when we switch off the lights, and then we would usually talk about what happened in the day, just to wind down. And it's usually in these conversations in the dark, right, where they don't have to look at you in the eye and say, what happened in school? What did your teacher say? Things like this, right? So they let their guard down and they start to talk. Oh, so and so said this, or so and so. Why did so and so, kept me out from that clique, from the group, that kind of thing. So that's when you sense that, oh, okay, she is troubled about this issue. It's just that she's not mentioning it, and now it's all coming out. Yeah. So that's what I can remember. That then being able to listen actively and understand, and then allowing them to just talk about it, actually is I realize is the therapy itself. Yeah. So that's what I realized. At that time, I didn't, when my children were younger, I didn't know that, so it was like just part of parenting. Yeah.
I can totally relate to that because it's a lot of times, just now when you talk about letting the guard down, and then in the light-hearted mood and light-hearted environment, they can share a little bit more. So the pillow talks were the pillow talks in the middle of the night, just before they sleep. Sometimes travel time, your car ride, bus ride. Yeah, those little light-hearted timings that I really get into real conversations to get to know what my children is going through. Not that, how are you today? Sometimes we just, okay lor. Sometimes we just get the okay lor. But it's only when we have fun together, when we have light-hearted moments together that we share, that we really hear more, and they also feel safer and more ready to share.
Yeah, correct. I think hearing from my two fellow panelists, I got reminded as parents is extremely important to create a very safe space. And we, as parents, we need to be very intentional about it, right? We want to have those wonderful one-to-one chit-chat, pillow talks moments with our children. I mean, we heard that it could be during bedtime, transport time, fetching the children's time. What I found quite useful is really to have one-to-one dates with my children. So right now, I try to have a monthly one-to-one date with my daughter. And at that time, she can choose to do whatever she wants and say and chit-chat about whatever she wants. So be it she wants to talk about K-pop Demon Hunter, she wants to talk about the latest trend, the brain rot stuff, Mr. Beast, whatever she wants. And parents, we need to be intentional and try to listen and be present. Personally, I do struggle a lot by being fully present with the children. But along the years, I learned that it is important to be present in the sense that we are heart, eyes, brain, body, physically present, 100% attention to the children during the one-to-one. And I find that quite useful. And usually during those sessions, she open up and share with me more inner things about herself, what happened in school, interaction with her friends.
So being present is really focused. It's not like your mind's thinking about something else, you're checking your phone. You're really focused on your child before you. So it sounds like it's not so much recalling an incident where you respond to your child, but providing that supportive environment such that whenever there are any times there's any struggles, actually you're already being there, attending to your child's emotions.
Yeah.
Thank you. I also want to share a bit about like what children and youth think about how they think parents can support their mental health. So some of these, right, were actually gathered from two of our research studies. The first is an analysis of our Tinkle Friend chats, and the second is on our parent-child perspectives on mental health. We've categorized them broadly into what helps and what hurts. The list is not exhaustive, and these are just some things that they share with us. So what helps? Your child is going through something serious, you should definitely seek help, even if they don't want to seek help. Be more approachable, just let them talk it out. If they need space, let them have a little space. Being there for me, just spending more time, having fun, like the whole family together. But what hurts? When my parents said that I was very weak to ask for help, just don't freak out. Don't make your child more worried than they already are. Don't jump to conclusions. My parents might scold me for thinking all this and I'll get sadder. And don't pressure them to be the best. It's quite solemn to hear some of their real thoughts. Any responses from any of you as you hear these thoughts?
I think as I read about what hurts, I mean, personally, I'm guilty of using certain language on my children and indirectly hurts them. I think as parents, sometimes we do not realize that the choice of our words, the verbal communication part can bring quite serious negative impact to our children. I mean, very often as parents, we want to show our naggy, we want to remind them of certain things, but we do not choose the best use of words, right? And that could not be seen as encouraging to them as well. Yeah.
How would parents know whether the choice of words is appropriate?
In fact, I would encourage, just start off with only encouraging words as well also. Means that only positive. If these words, if you say to yourself, do you find encouraging? Do you find inspiring? Right? Sometimes I do hear parents, especially when the children get back their results, saying, hey, you are not so smart, yeah, stupid, all this. These are very hurtful words to the children. Yeah. In fact, parents should recognize what is so good about the results of the exam, what is the effort put in, and see other aspect of the character that the child brings out, not just the final marks from the examination. Yeah.
So maybe the rule of thumb is whatever you say to your child, would it encourage yourself?
Correct.
They can help you.
Yeah. Yeah. These are really very heartfelt comments from young people. So what stands out to me, what speaks to me is this advice about not freaking out, because I'm quite a worrier. And like what Zachary mentioned, right? If the results come back, how come it's like that? You know, then I really have to like calm myself down and say, deep breath in. Take a deep breath, don't panic. Yeah, so that's me, and it's a learning journey. It's not perfected. It's never ever perfected, even though now my children are young adults, but there are still worries along the way, you know. So yeah, that's what speaks to me in terms of the children's voices.
Yeah, even for me, wow, it really hurts to see what is hurting our children. And I'm also not perfect in the parenting journey, even though I'm also a practitioner. Wow, parenting journey is really something else that we are trying to make sense of. We make mistakes along the way. I'm also in a trial and error, learning from each other in the parenting journey as well. Sometimes as a practitioner, we know what to do instinctively, or we are also being taught what to do, but it takes time and trials and tests to exercise that muscle, to really do our best as what we can as parents for the best interest of our children. Another area that actually stood out for me was actually being there for our children and having fun together. Yeah, so not just in my own family, but in my work as well, oftentimes we forgot about having fun and encouraging children and families to have fun beyond just the functions that we need to perform, the functional being that we need to do, cooking, providing, and so on and so forth. It's not aiming for the stars to say that, we need to go on a holiday all the time. We need great activities all the time, every weekend. But actually, it's in our day-to-day interaction, our little laughter and play that we share, the little caring and sharing moments that we have. Simple things like jokes that we make on the dinner table. The jokes that we make on the dinner table, just how we talk about the pillow talks before bedtime. And then sometimes it's really being silly together.
Yes, that's right.
Just over the weekend, actually I was busy with a little work to do. And then my children came along and said that, Mommy, later when Papa come back, let's do this who and make Papa laugh. Okay, then I really put my things aside and then just, okay, let's laugh together. And yes, later when Papa comes home, we are going to do that together. And then just laugh over it and be silly about it. I think those are wonderful, fun moments that we can have with our children as well.
Yeah, I think the little things. There's the little things that you can just enjoy and just be present with one another.
Yeah,
That's right.
Thank you. I also wanted to talk a bit about this part where they were sharing about seeking help. Yeah, so there was on one hand, the child said what helps is to encourage help seeking. But on the other hand, we do hear some parents may not say it very nicely and said, my parents said I was very weak to ask for help. So we have these two different opinions, and maybe it might make the child feel like, then do I look for someone? We want to encourage help seeking, but how can we continue to do that?
I will feel that day to day, parents, we should be the number one safe haven for our children to reach out to if they need help, which means that day to day, we need to build the trust, we need to develop the safe haven for them. So at times of stress, we are their number one choice. And the best way to do this is really to build very strong connection with the children though. Be it through silly, fun things on a day-to-day basis, or be it through watching a silly movie together as well. So as parents, right, there will be many times whereby our children reach out to us for nonsensical things, right? Recently, my children want to teach me about the Italian brain rot, tong tong stir. I'm not sure what is that. At first I find it silly though, but I realized that it means something to her because this is something, it's a topic they talk about in school. They joke about it, they have fun through this kind of terms in school. So as parents, I need to remind myself to get silly, to get into her mode at some times so that I can connect and relate with her. And in the future, when there are more serious stuff, she will reach out to me as well.
It's very good. Yeah. Then what about when do we then maybe seek help from professionals, whether mental health services or anything?
Yeah, so I think asking for help, just now when we talk about it, it's also modeling the way to ask for help, whether if it's, to be very okay to say that I need help for myself, and then whether I feel that actually I've been struggling with something that bothers me for a period of time, 2 weeks, 1 month. Maybe I can start, looking for help with professionals, seeing a counselor, talking to someone I trust, or even if let's say I have a friend who is a fellow professional, I can start from small little ways in our environment and community as well to ask for help. And in our children, when we have been running workshops with them, we encourage them, if you find that you are experiencing distress, you're not coping so well, it's been going on for 2 weeks, 1 month. Actually, it's time to also talk to a trusted adult, whether if it's your parents, your school counselors, or sometimes even a community worker as well.
So when you see that it's going on for a longer time, affecting you in different areas, maybe it's really time to. You can also come earlier, right? So not that you have to wait also, right?
Wait until something so serious that's happening. Sometimes when it's so serious, and by the time we come, it's a little bit too of a. Everything is jumbled up together as well. Everything is being lumped together. You can imagine a web. There's all tangled, it's harder to solve. But actually, if we could come earlier, talk about it earlier, learning ways to cope earlier, that might be helpful as well. And sometimes it's also noticing that, maybe the intensity is getting higher and higher. That is also when we start asking for help as well. And I think for children, especially, right, the body tells them a lot. Yeah, their body gives them cues, their body gives them signs as well.
Yeah. So coming back to this this thing I mentioned about there being physical symptoms associated with mental health distress. So this is where the early manifestation, right? And if possible, then parents can actually help their children through some of these. We have got in KK Hospital, we have come up with this resources that is online that we can share with the parents. And in the brochures, there's this link to the videos which explains why the mind is connected to the body and why we are having these kinds of symptoms whenever we are stressed. And in fact, even adults, even I myself, whenever I'm stressed, I too may experience some stomach ache or headache, and it's actually very normal. So actually, if they can, and the videos also share some techniques, some relaxation techniques to cope with the symptoms whenever the symptoms well up. At very inconvenient moments, like for example, before a school performance or before you go up to the front of the class to give a show and tell, So these are actually very useful life skills that the parent can help the child to understand and master the skills because it comes with practice. Yeah. But there are also situations where these bodily symptoms become very entrenched, very crippling, very disabling, and it's functional disabilities because actually there's nothing wrong with the body, physical, from the physical point of view, but it's in the mind, and that can be very crippling. We have seen young people who need to be taken off school because of these physical symptoms, and it can be a few times a month not being able to go to school. So that can be very crippling. And then really that would be the time to really seek professional help. And what I would want to say is, in the National Mental Healthcare and Strategy Plan, right, the key emphasis is early recognition and early help seeking. Yeah.
Actually, on this note, could you share more about KKH's work on the community and how they are partnering the community for early detection and intervention?
So there is this initiative is called the Temasek Foundation Youth Connect Program. And our clinical psychologists, together with the James Cook University clinical psychologists, have come up with this psychological intervention package that will enable the young person, 10 years old and above, to acquire skills, psychological skills, so that they have this psychological flexibility. Yeah, for example, in the area of emotional regulation, a child can be like, do not have a major depressive disorder, for example, but just have difficulties with emotional regulation, like maybe very distressed because someone said someone nasty, say your mark's now lousy, and that is enough to cause the child to dysregulate and become very rash, and really, go into like crisis mode even sometimes, So there's this program which the community has been trained to deliver this intervention, psychological interventions, in the community. So help is really available, and it is very tailored to children 10 years old and above. So just go ahead and get the help that's needed.
Thanks for coming up with this. I mean, the whole team coming up with this initiative to support them earlier on. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And also maybe share a little bit more also on the promotion and prevention work as well, as we look at children's mental health and mental well-being in children's society as well. So in Singapore Children's Society, in our it's called this our Mighty Minds. Okay, it's actually a mental health literacy program, and not just in the program aspect, but the aim of the mental health work that we are doing through Singapore Society actually provides a continuity of care from actually prevention. Before something is happening, how can we promote our mental health, and then how can we create learning and supportive environment, not just for children, but for their families and the parents around the children as well, to gain mental health literacy, to gain increase actually their capability to promote children's mental wellness, and the benefit of acquiring mental health literacy, which is not just in the area of knowledge. Sometimes we think mental health literacy is just knowing can already, but in terms of building our skills and our attitudes together with knowledge as well, not just only allow us to better understand our children's emotional and behavioral needs, but also gain that supportive tool for enhanced communication and relationship at home as well. So for us, we conduct group-based, family-based workshops to help with learning in a safe, just now we talk about safe environment, fun environment, as we grow together as a family. Not just, the children have to cope on their own, or the parent have to cope on their own, but coming together as a family. And this actually coming up this school holidays, we have some programs available for children and families in our new space at City Square Mall and also at Gardens by the Bay. So keep a lookout in the mailbox after the program, where you will find out more, and also additional resources. If let's say parents and children want to find out more about children's mental health, they can actually go to our Buzz magazine from our Think of Friend website to be able to read on the magazine issues that we have talked about mental health. And for parents, there is actually a trusted adult corner where we actually share tips with parents, how to have little conversations about your children's mental health with them, how to have small activities that you can do together to promote well-being, even when we are doing well, even when we are okay, how can we maintain flourishing mental health as well. So feel free to, get to our resources, refer to our Think of Friend Buzz magazine, and also invite the children to come on our Think of Friend helpline if they would like to speak to a trusted adult about their mental health. So sometimes children just want to know actually what is going on with my mental health. Am I okay? Am I not okay? We want them to speak to a trusted adult than to go chat GBT. To find out answers, or to take a random online screening test and say that, hey, maybe I have a mental illness, maybe I got depression and anxiety, but we don't really know. There's so much information online and on the internet. Sometimes we just got to be very, very careful to look at what's there, and why not also ask our children, come on, Think of Friend, have a chat with us to have the accurate information and right support that they need as well.
Yeah. So actually, sometimes when we think of professional support, right, it's not just only counselling, therapy, but actually there's also programs for promotion and prevention also. There's a lot of resources that are available. Okay.
Yeah. So actually, in terms of, I just realized that directing our children to the right resource is very important, because if not, then they will go online and there's a lot of misguided information out there. So I think that what you are doing is really very important.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And the Think of Friend initiative, our child in primary school has been introduced, it has been shared. So some school even printed the Think of Friends information on the student handbook. So our children are already aware of that. So I think as parents, we can reinforce that at home as well to encourage our children, if they need help, they can always look for the Think of Friend hotline as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So now we switch gears a bit from professional back to the personal and the home. So we actually ask our registrants, right, like, actually, how are you currently promoting your children's mental well-being? We draw out some key themes and I just want to share them with you. So some of them shared that we want to be present, check in about their good and not so good moments, which I think we talked about also just now. Allow them to express their feelings and to listen before speaking. Understand and support them to manage their stress. Ensure that they have enough sleep and nutritious food. Go out to enjoy and do things as a family. I think here and there, just now you talk about, you've also shared some of your experiences about it, right? Do you all have anything else to add?
I think for me, I like to keep things simple, right? So I have this mantra, EMSB. So eat, move, sleep, breathe. So is my children eating well? Is he or she eating her favorite food? Then M is move. Is she moving around? Is she active or is she hiding in her room? S, sleeping. Is she sleeping more? Is she sleeping less? So all these are indication of mental health. Breathe. Did her breathing change? Is it more shallow, more deep recently? So I use this 4 letters to remind myself to observe my children based on EMSB.
EMSB. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Learned something new today.
Yeah.
I think for myself, other than what I've shared just now, right, I also find that really connecting with fellow parents is very important because then you can give each other mutual support. Yeah. So I do have a circle of friends, you know, whom I meet together, and from time to time we will be able to compare notes and share, you know, our own parenting struggles. So it's not so that it's not a lonely journey. Yeah.
Yeah, I really, really like that because I think sometimes we already feel very lonely in the parenting journey. Am I doing it right? Am I not doing right? And having that community that comes together is really important.
Yeah.
And that community and that little source of help, it's really everywhere, and sometimes even help from our own children. I think for me, I do sometimes tell my children, Mama is so tired today.
Yeah.
You know, then my children will have very interesting response that spark a conversation. Did your boss give you a lot of work today? When they were younger, they asked me, Mama, did you nap at work today? Wow. And then we really start small conversations like that. And actually, it's also a way of me expressing myself. And then they learn how to express themselves. Sometimes they come back from school. Mom, I'm tired from school today. You know, it's really parallel processes of expression, and sometimes really asking for short help. You know, we all are very, very occupied. Some of us, both husband and wife, are working, our families are working, and it's not asking for a lot, but short help, maybe from husband, from your family members, friends, and I also have very appreciative of neighbors who will help me as well to say that, hey, you park your children maybe 1 hour, 2 hours, go and eat lunch. You know?
That is a very important resource to be able to park your children somewhere with someone whom you trust.
Yes.
Yeah. So
correct.
that's very, very
it's
important.
nothing fancy. It's just that 1-2 short hour to catch your breath, you know.
Or to run an errand is so important.
Yes, I remember how much help my neighbor had supported me in those small pockets as well. Yeah. And also sometimes it's just doing things that are very relaxed and chill in the same space with our children as well. And then they see you, hey, actually, mommy don't need to be so tense all the time. Mommy can relax, you know, being in that same space together. And then my daughter has learned to, Mama, can you play relaxing music, please? Okay, can. Then we'll just be in the same space. She read her book, I read mine. Sometimes we do our own sticker by numbers, painting. And sometimes it's also just getting out there to sweat it out. They can do their scooting and cycling. I just walk at the back and you scoot, I follow. You know, I cannot run lah. I just walk with them alongside, you know. Small little things that help us to catch that one mouth of breather.
So it's quite interesting, right? How when we talk about promoting children's mental health, actually promoting the whole family's mental health is very interlinked. Yeah, we don't have to segregate it. So maybe you can share more how else do you promote your family's mental well-being? Especially when they go through times of stress.
I think for me, I would even argue that our personal mental health is priority first, then we have the energy, we have the longevity to take care of our children. So which is the topic I want to highlight is really about self-care. I think a lot of parents being very responsible, they focus all their time, energy to their children, to their family. And sometimes we neglect ourselves, right? and sometimes it's at the expense of our physical and mental health, and that's not good. Our children need us to be strong so that we can take care of them in the long run. So I would really encourage parents to really be very intentional about self-care. Schedule time, make time for yourself. Do things that you enjoy, be it drinking your favorite cup of bubble tea, watching Netflix alone while eating your lunch, time away from the family. All these are good and should not be labeled as selfish. It's really essential that we have personal self-care time for ourselves.
And self-care, like you say, is not selfish. It's actually just me too. Not me only, me first, but me too. Yeah, and self-care, we talk about setting intentional time for ourselves. I think one thing that I really learned along the way and I really appreciate is to set aside time for family self-care as well. So there's time for ourselves, time for the family to do things together. And I think the children really appreciate, sometimes I share this with families as well, to set aside family self-care time. And they really do come back and share that, wow, I really appreciate that little pocket of time that we're doing together, just small things, not big, not fanciful, but when I intentionally do it, when I set aside time for it, actually both the parent and the child say I appreciate those moments. Yeah.
We also can ask from Zach a bit, because we understand that your family higher needs in taking care of your children. How does your family cope? Could you share a little bit of your experiences?
I would say early this year, I left my corporate job to be a full-time caretaker for my son. I think we discovered that my son, who is currently 6 years old, he has traits of ADHD and autism. So at that time, we have to go through the various stages of grief, right? With denial, we were very shocked, we were very surprised, we were angry, we were very guilty, right? And that was very stressful moment for me and my family. I think one thing that helped us along the way, number one, is really talking to the community, to other parents who have similar circumstances. Number two, we spoke with the help from the counselors, from the social worker, to understand where else can we get the relevant resources. And finally, it's really about we find time to relax, to vent out the inner frustration for ourselves as well. Yeah, because it is indeed a very challenging journey up for us to help our son develop. So we recognize that, and we came up, sit down together as a family and came up with a plan to help my son to develop. And along the way, we had a very good support from his various therapists, from the doctors at KKH as well.
I think each family will have their own struggles, challenges, and they have to find their way to support one another, get support from outside help, and find ways to also, in general, keep each other floating and keep each other flourishing. Do you have anything else to add before we move on to the probably Q&A segment?
I really felt the benefit of joining a community. So for me, I have 3 community. I think number one, I joined a community of parents with special needs children. I think I hear stories, happy stories, sad stories, inspiring stories from them. So that have bring me a lot of encouragement along the way. Number 2, I also joined a community of stay-home dads, fathers who commit their time to take care of their children. So between the daddies, we gossip, we talk, we chit-chat about football, all this stuff. Finally, I also joined a community of pickleball exercise games, right? Yeah, I think that gives me time to get out from all the worrying about my children, where I can spend time exercising, learning about new sports. I think that has been very beneficial for me and for my mental health.
I forgot one thing. You brought a box today.
Oh, yes.
You can share with everyone.
Correct.
What is this box about?
So this is a treasure box. This is my second one. Inside, it contains letter. I wrote to my daughter. So there's another one for my son. So every 2 to 3 months, I will write a letter to her. Mainly, the content of the letter is that telling her how I feel or certain experiences that we go through. Because at her current maturity level, there were certain things she may not be able to appreciate yet. Yeah, that's why I find it very useful to write such letter for her. And today I'm going to say a secret. Because when my daughter see me write, right, she thought I'm writing for her. Yes, I'm writing to her, but in fact, when I'm doing this, right, I'm actually helping myself as a dad to reflect of my parenting journey, about what have I gone through, the challenges, and what are my wishes for my children as well. So I reflect and put it all in a box. When she reached 18 years old, I intend to pass all this letter to her.
I think be many boxes.
Yeah, many boxes.
She might actually appreciate it earlier.
Yeah, I hope so though. But so far, she
It's
described
priceless.
me as very cringe.
But they may say that you are very cringe, right? But actually, deep down inside, they still want to connect, So that's something that is very, So whatever they say outwardly is a bit different from what they feel.
Yeah.
Internally, they recognize that they actually still need you and
Very nice.
Yeah.
So on that note, we will open the time for some questions from those on Zoom. We have a question. How early can we start talking to our children about mental health?
As early as possible.
Yeah. So actually, I realized that even in the hospitals, right, as a pediatrician, we don't really talk about mental health as mental health. It's really about well-being, and well-being is everyday conversations. Yeah. So it's like, what's eating into you? That kind of conversations. Yeah, and just being aware that these are the difficulties in terms of our thoughts, our emotions, and knowing what to do to cope with it. It's really everyday issues.
Yeah.
So it's not like mental health and
It's as simple as actually what you've been thinking about,
Yes,
what has been bothering you, what are you even happy about,
Yes,
how are you feeling, helping them express some of their emotions. Also,
Yeah.
a lot of times I also ask myself and I ask my children, are you happy?
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, it's a very simple question. Are you
it's simple.
happy? But actually, it has a lot of relation to their mental health. If they are not happy, their mental health won't be great. Actually, when their mental health is not great, they are not happy either. So actually, very simple things like, are you happy? How are you feeling today? What's going on in your mind? These are little questions related to their mental health as well.
That's right.
So as young as they are in preschool, these conversations can go on already.
Yeah. And another aspect is also, I forgot to mention, is about sleep health. So sleep health is not like mental health per se, but it is intimately related to well-being, and there are very high associations of between not being able to fall asleep, difficulty falling asleep, which is insomnia, right? There's very high association with mental health. Conversely, in addition to that, earlier on, it's also increasingly common for young children onwards to have bedtime procrastination. And that is when, the parents, may not have had control over their bedtime. And that's very important actually to shape their habits in terms of going to bed on time and having enough sleep, because increasingly you will have to battle with screen time and homework load and lots of other activities that will steal into their bedtime. And when they do not have enough sleep, it will also affect their overall well-being, not just their concentration the next day, their energy level the next day, and the ability to cope with their emotions and the stresses that come with everyday life, in school and everything. Yeah. So sleep health is actually very, very important. Yeah.
One of the key to obtain good mental health,
yes,
right?
that's right.
And just now they also mentioned about eating well.
Yeah.
And then we talk about sleeping well.
Yeah.
And it's also exercising, being active, going out to be able to maintain and to obtain that good mental health that we are looking for. And those conversations start really young. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So, I think that's helpful to know that it's not just talking about it and mental health per se, but overall their well-being, physical, emotional, they can all start in different habits, different routines from young. Second question is, how can we distinguish real mental health concerns and manipulation? So they're saying that some children may use it as an excuse to get out of responsibilities. So maybe like stomach ache, okay, don't join something. I don't know.
Okay, at least for the physical symptoms, it's not they are not malingering. Okay, the stomach ache is real to them, and they're really feeling the pain. The headache is real, the chest pain is real. Okay, so real that you feel like, even like for the older, even for an adult, right? The chest pain can be so real that you really feel like you are having a heart attack. So for sure, it is not malingering. For sure, it is real. And it's so real that you feel compelled to want to go to the emergency department in the middle of the night and wait in the queue. Okay? So that is really real. The difficult part is starting to think, is there some contributions due to the stresses? Yeah, so that is a bit difficult unless you know your child very well. Yeah. Sometimes it's not easy. Like for example, I've got situations where, hey, no problem. I don't know why my child having stomach ache. Then school holiday shouldn't be any stress, right? So, actually, it turned out that on that day that he had the stomach ache, we went to buy school uniform for the new school. It can be as subtle as this, and that can cause the physical symptom. Yeah. So I think we need to give the child the benefit of the doubt. Yeah.
I was also going to say,
Yeah.
it really takes a conversation and connection with the child to find out a little bit more what might be bothering the child. Yeah. So sometimes it may seem to be, an excuse to want to get away with something, but only when we have that conversation and connection to find out more what exactly is bothering, going on for the child. Could it be a trigger or situation? Then you will be able to better identify what is the need of the child.
So maybe instead of going the direction of whether, is it really manipulation or not, let's figure out, step back. What is contributing to that behavior? What is the child concerned about? And then we go in that direction instead.
And what might be the need of the child in situations like that? Yeah.
We have a third question. What kind of words should be used or to take note when reprimanding my children? And if I've already scolded my child and he's afraid of me now, what can I do? Maybe you all have my personal experience.
I mean, first I want to thank this parent for being brave and ask this, to admit that we sometimes make mistakes as parents, right? It's not easy. Or sometimes in the spur of the moment, we may say nasty words or even use our hands to beat them, right? I've gone through that, and I still feel very guilty about that as well. I find that what is useful is really to, instead of using words, we use question. We can ask them back, how do you feel about this? And of course, this needs to be age appropriate, right? Instead of saying that, hey, why do you do this? And scolding them, you can ask question, phrase it differently, and asking them, hey, how does it make you feel? What happened? But avoid the why and but. If you attend any parenting course, they will say, hey, when you talk to children, avoid using why, using but, because that negates what you said previously. Also, we avoid using words like why and but. Instead, we can ask them questions, say, hey, what happened? What can we do better? Is this aligned with our family values? So we question them back so that they will reflect and think about what happened. Yeah. So I find this approach quite useful for me.
And in addition to that, sometimes, a lot of time, not just sometimes, in fact, all the time, it's also about that reconnection and rebuilding of the relationship and reconciliation of the relationship after the incident. We are all human beings as parents, sometimes we just lose it. I lose it sometimes as well. And it's the after that, what do we do after losing it and reconnecting, and to really come back to the child and say, I'm really sorry just now for what has happened. Is there anything we can do differently? How were you feeling? And reconnecting and I cannot promise you that I won't do it again, but we will try. And then if you find, I had conversations with my child and I tell her, if you find that mommy is doing this again and mommy is hurtful, can you tell me? Yeah, and we will both try. You try your part to change certain things. I try my part to change me in my behaviors as well. And coming back together to just give each other a hug and say sorry. And we learn and we grow again.
Very, very humbling. I mean, both coming together and say, sorry, let's do better next time.
Yeah. And sometimes also telling them that, it's not their fault. Sometimes like when things happen, there are moments that I had to tell her that, I'm actually not angry at you. And actually it's not your fault. I could have, maybe managed my own adult anger a bit better. Things like that to really help reconcile and reconnect in the relationship. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts and experiences to this. So now we would like to end off by maybe each one of us just sharing an encouraging word to our audiences, like how do you want to encourage the families to support each other's mental health? Yeah. Anyone can start first. Yeah.
Oh, I can go first. I think all the mommies and daddies, I think the parenting journey will be hard and long and frustrating. I think there will be times whereby you just cannot take it. And do take note that you do not have to go through this alone. You can always ask for help. Ask your spouse, ask your in-laws, ask someone in the community for help. There will always be very kind and willing people be able to share resources, share their experiences with you. And importantly, practice self-care. Take better care of yourself so that you have the strength, energy to take care of your children. Yeah.
Actually, I would like to encourage fellow parents to know that actually you are important. You actually have a special superpower to lead, to model, to shape the way for our children, our families' mental health and well-being together as well. I think all of us can recognize that it's a journey, but an encouragement to all parents is that we are actually braver than we believe, stronger than we seem, smarter than we think. Yeah, so, some of us in today's session, they are also coming in as a parent. The school personnel are here also. Some of our community agency partners are among us as well. And I just also want to encourage one another that, we are in this partnership together and we don't have to do this alone. Whether you come as a parent from the school or in the community or even from the hospital setting as well, we are doing this together as we partner alongside this parenting journey.
Thanks. Yeah, so that's really encouraging because even right now, right, even though I've got adult children, it's still a learning journey, honestly. I was and I feel very privileged to be able to, interact with the wider community and you guys as well. So in my work, right, I've this privilege of being able to get to know so many people from across healthcare, education and social services. And then I realized, wow, there's tremendous amounts of resources, that we can tap on. Yeah. So, it's a learning journey. Yeah.
So we also want to share, right, that after the session has ended, we'll be sharing a feedback form for you to fill up. If you have any questions or any areas that you want to seek support in, please fill up and let us know in the feedback form. We'll also be sharing a sleep study. Maybe Dr. Ang, you want to share more about it?
So there is this... I mentioned about sleep, right? And so we want to find out more about what might be the barriers and facilitators that will affect a child's sleep, for them, an adolescent sleep, because adolescence period, the sleep is greatly affected. Many adolescents are very sleep deprived, and that's the start of the risk for poor mental health. So we want to get the voice of adolescents, young people, as well as the parents of adolescents in interviews and focus groups to find out what can be done to improve sleep health. Yeah. So that's the study.
Okay. So we'll be sharing some of these things as well as other events, programs that you can participate in. Yeah. So we want to thank Angie, Zach, and Priscilla for this session. We want to thank everyone who joined online. We hope it was a meaningful one for you. I remember things like pillow talk. Yes. Yeah. So we hope thank you for helping you fill out the feedback form, and we hope you have a good day ahead. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye. Bye.